Hi comic book fans, and today I'm bringing you something a bit special and a bit unusual. It's a bit of nostalgia for me, to be honest. Back when I was at school, I went to a British public boarding school, and my favourite place in the school was the school library. It was like something out of Hogwarts. It was all sort of wood panelled, and it contained, some really old antiquarian leather bound books. One of the things they had in this library was a complete set of the bound Punch magazine collection. So Punch was a magazine that started in 1841 in the UK, and it continued to be published right through into the 1970s. And it was published monthly, and every 6 months, it was published weekly, I think. No, it was published weekly, and every 6 months they gather together the collection of magazines from that 6 months and bind them into a book. And this went on for some considerable time. Anyway, I used to go into the library and I used to spend hours looking through these old editions of Punch magazines, because even then I was interested in cartoons, and these Punch volumes had cartoons in them. In fact, Punch is the publication that is responsible for coining the word cartoon. Okay, so in a way, it was my early form of comics. They're not really comics; they are magazines, but they do have cartoons in them. And it got more cartoony as it moved into the modern age. Now, I'm going to show you 4 books here. They're all Punch bound volumes. The first one here I picked up about 18 months ago. I was away in my motorhome with my wife. It was raining. We were in an old British town. I went to a second-hand bookshop, which I like to do, and they had this volume here of Punch from 1917. So this is from the Great War, 1914 to 1918, and it was £20. I couldn't believe how cheap it was for such a historic document. Now, one of the great things about these Punches is that they do act as a sort of historical document for the time. Here we go, January the 3rd, 1917, and you can see here we've got a war-based cartoon here by somebody called Bernard Partridge, and we've got a war horse here. It says war on it, and we've got a classic German. Looks as if he's retreating. And of course 1917 probably was. And here we've got John Bull, who is the sort of classic representation of the British, and Uncle Sam, who of course is the classic representation of America. And it says the White House Mystery. And going through this, we've got there's a picture here, a cartoon. Medical officer, what's the matter with you, my man? Valvular disease of the heart, sir. My word, how did you get that? Last medical board gave it to me, sir. And it's full of great stuff. An answer to peace talk. Britannia calls a war conference of the empire. And a great drawing of Britannia. Another representation of the United Kingdom. So I picked this up, as I say, about 18 months ago. Right. And I had it on my shelf, and I quite like looking through it. I mean, you know, it's just great to look through, and also to try and understand the historical references. Here we've got one of the very early cartoonists, somebody called Bateman. You know, so and he does a number of these sort of early cartoons in the early 1900s. The reading is, I mean, that's a fantastic one here. I don't know if you can see all that. This, I believe, is the German Kaiser. Look at all these figures here. Anyway, you can, really interesting. Right, so then what happened? Moving forward a bit, I was talking to my mate Silver Knight Kyle, and we were just chatting about stuff, and I was talking about early punchers. And he said he'd looked for early punchers and he couldn't find them, and they're very expensive. And I said, well, they're not very expensive. And I told him about the one I'd found. And then I just went and did a search on eBay. And as we were speaking, I said, oh, I found a really early punch volume. And it's this one from 19. Look at the bind. Look at the great binding on this. And this is volume 15 of Punch. So remember, it's produced, one of these is produced every 6 months. So this dates from, this dates from 18, so we're only sort of 7 years in. So I think this is 1848. 1848, yeah, here we go. There you go, you can see it there. Punch volume 15. 1848. And there's Mr. Punch, and it's just going from 1848 into 1849. Volume the 15th. Punch's birthday ode to himself. You know, so 1848, how old is this? So 1848, so that's 52 years, 152 years, 170 years old? And this is quite interesting because I think this is the year after the French Revolution. Anyway, so I got this one, and that set me off sort of looking around to see if I could find any earlier ones. And specifically, I wanted to try and find volume 1, which my mate Kyle told me I would not do. Right, okay. So then I found this beautifully bound one here, with the Punch logo on it, from 1842. So this is volume 2. So this is only the second 6 months. I think this has been rebound at some stage in this beautiful red binding. Okay, so I don't think this red binding is original, but I think the internals are original from 1842. I think it's been rebound at some stage, probably fairly early, probably early 1900s, I suspect. This cost me £15. Punch's epilogue to second volume. Well, have you seen Punch? What do you think of Punch? Was there anything, ever anything like Punch? Such a quantity of capital stuff too in Punch. But Punch can never stand. Oh, impossible. Punch is too clever to live. Undoubtedly, Punch has put all his fun into his first number. I'll give Punch a month, just a month. Hang it, I'll give Punch 6 weeks. Will you? I'll give Punch 3. Not a day any more than 3. Well, over 130 years worth of Punch. And here they're already questioning whether it's going to last 6 weeks. Well, it did. So the second volume, there's some just fantastic stuff through here. Okay, then I'm looking through, I'm going through the internet, and lo and behold, look at this. This is Punch's Pencilings number 10, 20, 28. Social Miseries number 4. The Wet Waltonians. Right, okay, so this is These Strange Fish May Be Caught in Driving Showers, Isaac Walton. Isaac Walton wrote a famous book about fishing. I think it's called The Complete Angler. So a Waltonian is a fisherman. Okay, they take a bit of unpicking some of these Punch cartoons, and here we've got 2 wet, very wet looking fishermen. So Social Miseries number 4, The Wet Waltonians. You do have to put a, oh, this is quite fun. This is this little series here. This is a sort of Valentine's edition, and it's a sort of breakdown of Punch's Valentines and the type of characters that you have in Valentine. So we've got the speculative mama, the drawing room captain, the lawyer, the pet parson, the literary gentleman, the accomplished young lady, the footman, the medical student, the milliner, the man about town, and look at this guy, and finally the politician. We have to have a politician. So there's quite a lot of this is political satire. Anyway, I'm looking through the internet, and lo and behold, I find listed in the internet Punch Volume 1. Okay, so I thought to myself, I'm going to get it, and it looked to me from the photographs like it was genuine. Carl said to me, there's no way you're going to get a Punch number 1, it'll be a copy or a fake or something. Well, here we go. Look at this, beautifully bound here, Punch 1941 Volume 1. Look at this beautiful beautiful frontispiece here. Do we think this is original? Looking good to me so far. Punch, or the London Charivari, volume the 1st, July to December 1941, and we've got the little Punch logo here with Punch with the devil. And it looks to me like these first pages have had some sort of repair on them at some stage, quite a good repair. Location, Bradbury and Evans, printers, Whitefriars. This is all looking good to me. And here we've got, I think there might be a few pages missing. Okay, because the Punch Pencilings, some of these pages look as if they're bound together to me. Yeah. Anyway, Punch Pencilings number 3, The Evening Party, Preparation, Decoration, she's putting a wig on, Realization, and this sort of chap here is not paying attention to the lady here, is paying attention to this young lady, and then Termination, heading off to bed. Now then, do I think this is original? Just look at this. I'm going to show you some. Right, so here we go. Punch Pencilings number 7. Look at this. I can feel the indentation there. This is definitely done with a woodcut. For me, this is absolutely genuine. Look at this. I can feel it. In fact, you may even be able to see the indentation here caused by the press of the woodcut. I cannot see anybody. Now, this is not expensive. I paid £60 for this, for Punch number 1. So it is the most expensive of the volumes that I've shown you. But you know, this is the first of something that ran for 130 odd years. Look at the quality of the paper. It is incredible. This is none of your mechanical wood pulp stuff that your comics are made from. This is almost parchment-like paper, and look at this, 170 years. It's gone brown slightly. You know, my comics from the 1950s are a lot browner than this, and they're 100 years younger. Incredible. The Royal Red Riding Hood and the Ministerial Wolf. Yeah, well, I've no idea what that's about, but looks interesting. So I am really pleased to have picked this up. As far as I'm concerned, it is a piece of history. You can claim it's a piece of history for comics, because this is the publication that coined the term cartoon. Punch Pencilings number 15, Reflection. Farewell, a long farewell to my greatness. King Henry VIII. Wow, okay. Punch Pencilings number 16, the new Parliamentary Masons. You know, so some of these do require a bit of history lesson. You have to go learn some history. I have no idea who Sir Robert Macaire is, endeavouring to do an exchequer bill. No idea. Was he a politician? Somebody's handing him a £200 note, so I don't know whether there's some bribery going on there or not. Yeah, so incredible. And the final pages on here do have some repairs as well. Can you see this sort of edge here? Looks like somebody strengthened the edge of the paper. Yeah, because you can just see through there. Obviously there was some damages to the edge of the paper, which have been repaired quite well actually. And this repair does not look new. This repair looks like it has been done, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years ago. Jack Russell cutting his name on the beam. It says the Treasury bench, so I presume there's somebody in the Treasury called Jack Russell. So there we go. Punch Volume 1 from 1841. These things are great. I will probably add to my collection of Punch. Bound Punch when I pick up the opportunity, but I'm not going to do much better than getting Punch Volume 1 from 1841. There you go, guys. I don't know if that was any interest to you comic guys. I certainly love these old books with cartoons in, and I do spend quite a lot of time looking at them, trying to figure out what the hell the cartoons mean. So that's your lot. See you again soon.